Hello everybody. This is a quick walkthrough on how to create alignments for assessments in Canvas. I've sent you the documents that tell you how to do it, but if you're still a little bit confused, I'm hoping that this screen capture will help you with that. Just as a reminder, we do these so that we can do program and university-wide assessments of our courses. These are not grades of you, the instructor, or grades of the students, but simply to look at how well our courses are meeting the outcomes that they have been assigned to. So for English 101 and 103, those general education outcomes are called the written communication outcome. And for English 104, we have two outcomes. We have the information literacy outcome, and we also have the written communication outcome again. So I'm teaching English 103 right now, so I'm going to use my 103 course to show you how to do the alignment for 101 or 103. So the first thing you want to do is log into Canvas, go to your dashboard, and then click on your course. You should see a page that looks something like this. It won't look exactly like this, obviously, but you'll scroll down, and what you're concerned about are these things over here on the left-hand side. If you don't see these, you should be able to click on this hamburger menu up here, and it will come back. We call it a hamburger menu because of the way that it's stacked there. So scroll all the way down to the bottom of your navigation, and you'll click on Settings. On Settings, you'll see there are tabs here at the top. You're going to click on Feature Options, and then you'll see this list. All of these on yours will be black with X's. You see I have one that is check with a green here. That's because that's the one we're going to be using. So you're going to click on Learning Mastery Gradebook to enable it. Now once you've done this, once you've turned it on, you don't need to do anything else at this moment. You don't need to click Save or Exit. Just leave it there. Okay, now we're ready for the second step in the process. To do this part, you'll want to click on Dashboard to get out of your class and then go back into the class. I'm going to use a different class now so that I can show you what this looks like from the very beginning, because with it already being done in my 103 class, it won't show you exactly what it looks like. So I'm going into a different class, but you should go back into the same class that you went into. Again, we're going to be working with our navigation menu on the side, and you can see here that there are some things that are darker gray and some things that are grayed out. And we are looking for outcomes, and it is probably grayed out. You can still click on it though, so look carefully, adjust the brightness on your screen however you need to, and then click on Outcomes. After clicking on Outcomes, you're going to click on Find, and then you'll see this folder that says Account Standards. You'll see a variety of folders listed here, and these are basically all of the ways in which a course can be assessed. It could be assessed for general education, it could be assessed for the English program, it could be assessed for the School of Liberal Arts and Sciences. And in 101 and 104, we're strictly dealing with general education outcomes, so we'll click on University of St. Francis. So remember, general education applies to the entire university, and that's why we click on the folder named for the entire university. You'll then see a folder that says 2018 SDGE. That stands for San Damiano General Education, which is the name of our general education program. Once we click on that, you're going to see a bunch of folders that have these very cryptic and hard to decipher titles. The 18 obviously stands for the year, GE stands for GE, General Education, and then we have these abbreviations for all of the different outcomes under GE. The two that we care about are IL, Information Literacy, and WC, Written Communication. I'm just going to click on Written Communication, and then I'll go back and do Information Literacy as well. Once we click on Written Communication, we'll see 6 outcomes here. The last one is Sources, and it says Optional, and you should not choose it because we won't be assessing these courses based on their use of sources because we do not require a research paper in this class. So for each of these 5 outcomes, you're going to click on it, and click Import. It will ask you, is this okay? And you're going to say yes. Find. And then you don't have to click through everything again. It's right there for you, which is why I had to go into a different course here. Okay, now we have all of our outcomes that we want to have, and we can see them all here if we scroll down within this box. So we're good here, right? Now we need to go back to our dashboard. So I'm going to go into English 300 again, but again, you'll be working with 101 or 104. Go back into the same class you've been working with. Now we need to create an assignment that is going to be used to collect our artifact. So if you've done the alignment on Blackboard, you know that we're choosing an artifact from our class that represents the successful completion of the outcomes that we're looking for. So for written communication, the gist of that outcome is that students can communicate effectively through writing for a variety of audiences. So we want to pick a piece that they've written that does that. It's probably not going to be, you know, an in-class quiz or essay exam. It's probably going to be something like a formal drafted, revised, reviewed paper. I would recommend, for simplicity's sake, for you to just choose the biggest project in both classes as your artifact. If you are using Canvas to collect these things, then you already will have an assignment set up. If you are like me and you're going to use an assignment that's not due until December, you may not have that assignment set up yet, but you're going to create an assignment that can be a placeholder for you. So click on Assignments, and there might be an example here, or there will be whatever assignments you have created already. Click on Add Assignment. I'm just going to call this Assessment Placeholder because English 300 isn't assessed along the guidelines I've been looking at. We're just doing this for the sake of showing you how to do it. So title your assignment. You can write a description or link your assignment sheet here. You'll want to make it worth points. You can determine how you want to display the grade, how you want people to submit their assignment, whether you want to require peer review or check the assignment for plagiarism. And then you can enter the due date. I'll just say that. So down here at the bottom, we have cancel, save and publish, and save. When you save and publish, that means that it is viewable by students. And you may want to have this visible to students from the very beginning of the semester. You might instead choose to just hit save, which means that the assignment is there, but it's not available to students yet. You can go and publish it later, and it's very easy to do so. So I'm just going to hit save because I don't want students to see this and worry about it just yet. Oh, sorry, I forgot to do that. Okay. Okay, now I have an assignment, right? Once you have this assignment, then you can add the rubric to it. So we're just going to click Add Rubric. Once you click Add Rubric, you're going to see that Canvas has created something for you here if you want to make a rubric. But you can also use those outcomes that you've imported here. So you can see that I have all of these that I imported earlier, and I just find those by clicking on this Find Outcome. Once again, I'm going to go through one by one and import them. Now you'll see here that it says total 25 points. We have 5 criteria and each of them are worth 4 points. So what's the other 5 points? That's from this placeholder that Canvas has created for you. So you just want to get rid of it by clicking on this. And we're done. Okay? You can give your rubric a title. You might title it General Education Assessment Rubric. And then you have these options down here. You don't want to select any of these options. All of these options do things that mess up the assessment in ways that we don't want them to. And actually, if you click on this hide score total for assessment results, students are able to see the rubric, whereas if you don't click this, they're not able to see it, which is very counterintuitive because you wouldn't think that clicking hide something would make you able to see it. But don't click any of these. That's just the easiest thing to remember. Don't click any of these no matter how much you might want to. Then you click Create Rubric and you're done. All you need to do is publish this when you're ready for students to see it. If you want to grade this same assignment in Canvas using a different rubric, then you actually need to create 2 assignments, one for the assessment and one for the actual grade that you want to give them, because unfortunately there's not a way for you to assign 2 rubrics. You are welcome to use the GE rubric as your rubric, but I think in my case what I will do is create a separate rubric outside of Canvas because I don't want to deal with this rubric and I don't want to deal with 2 assignments. Most of the time students don't have any problem submitting both assignments, and you can even give them a point or something for doing so. So let's go and look really quickly at the information literacy outcomes. This is going to be the same kind of thing, right? We'll go into account standards. We'll go into University of St. Francis, San Damiano 18, and then Info Lit, IL. So you have these 3, and then we have do not use. I don't know what do not use is there for, but don't use it. Just click through each of these 3 one at a time. You'll have all of these added as well, and you can create a rubric using them also. If you are using the same artifact for both outcomes, you can add both rubrics to that assignment, as far as I know. I may later find out that you can't do that, and if that is going to be the case, that will be a decision that's made by the people that do assessment, and I will pass it on to you as soon as I know. So that's pretty much it. It's a 3-step process. The first step is going in and enabling the Learning Mastery Gradebook. The second step is importing outcomes using this Outcomes tab. And the third step is adding the outcomes to a rubric with an assignment that you create. If you have any problems going through this, feel free to come by my office. I'm happy to try to walk you through it. Please make sure that you create that assignment and add the outcomes for assessment by the end of the first week of class.